All right, guys, welcome back to OPM Inc. And you know what we do here? We break down charts and we make that moolah. Let's get to it. Now, it's been a minute since I dropped a YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie. It's been about a month since I actually dropped a YouTube video, which is terrible, terrible, terrible from my end. But we're back again with another BTC USD breakdown. And I know you guys are gonna be excited for this one because I know you've seen BTC in the last couple of weeks. It's been absolutely just crazy. The market has been dropping. We saw BTC actually achieve the 80k level. In one of my previous videos, if you go and watch one of my BTC USD breakdowns, I did mention that BTC was actually going to touch the 88k level. And I can now say that it actually did touch that level, but it went down a bit further. But today we're actually going to dive deeper into the chart and actually understand as to why BTC dropped to 80k, and also to understand where it's going to move to next, because that's where our next money's coming from. That's where the next 100k is coming from. That's where the next 200k is coming from. So in order for us to actually understand where BTC is going to move to next, we're going to have to conduct an analysis. I did actually create my own strategy though. Obviously, as you guys know, I've been trading for about 8 years now. Since 16, I'm 24 now. So 8 years in the game, 8 years in the market. And one thing I will say is that I've curated my own strategy. I don't really use anyone else's strategy. I've kind of found what works for me. And I feel like every trader has to go through this, you know. You have to go through what works for you, because what works for someone else might not work for you. You have to understand how you are as a person. You have to understand what drives you. You have to understand what ticks you. You have to understand what throws you off. And once you understand these things, you will find yourself catching better trades. You find yourself making more money on the charts because you understand yourself more. The market is not you versus the market. It's literally you versus you. If you win yourself, you win the markets. But without further ado, we're just gonna dive right into it, to be honest. Um, we're gonna dive right into it and we're gonna look at BTC USD. So here we have BTC USD on the monthly time frame. Now on the monthly time frame, we can see that last month, look at that, BTC dropped from 111k all the way down to 80k. I am probably wondering, why did BTC do this? Like, there's always a why behind price movements, by the way. Like, no price movement is random. Like, everything is an algorithm. Everything is programmed to happen that way. So the reason why BTC actually dropped down to 80k last month is because BlackRock, one of the major investors in BTC USD, one of the major holders of BTC, they actually sold 500 million worth of, or 500 billion, I'm not sure, 500 million or 500 billion, either one of the two. They sold about 500 billion of BTC, and that's what actually caused the market crash or the market decline. But I do believe that in the next coming months and going into 2026, Q1 of 2026, we should see BTC touch about 110, 120k again. And these are the levels that I'm looking to target. These are the levels I'm looking to start looking for entries right now. Um, Reason why I'm looking for entries right now is because if you're able to catch a nice swing trade to the upside, maybe catching it from BTC is at 93k right now. So if you catch from 93k to 100k, you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. And the way I trade BTC, obviously I trade BTC, I leverage trade BTC. I don't really buy spot. Um, Obviously for spot traders, in order for you to make 100% on your money, BT will literally need to go to 200k per coin, or about 180k per coin. But for leverage traders, you could have smaller amounts and actually make more money, but obviously you're risking more, and that's the whole point of leverage. You're putting more of your capital at risk in order to gain more of a reward. But yes, BTC USD on a monthly time frame, we see the huge candlestick to the downside, and then obviously going into the final month of 2025, December, we can see that BTC is actually now moving back up to the upside. And I marked out these levels previously before this video because I kind of wanted to just mark out the levels before I started recording so that I can almost just show you guys. So going into the weekly time frame, we can see that BTC is actually still on the uptrend. It hasn't created any lower lows on higher time frames. It's still creating higher highs. It's still creating higher lows. This is what we want to see as bullish or bulls. This is what we want to see as bulls. Right now, I'm bulls for BTC. I believe that BTC is going to continue to the upside. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm actually going to continue to do and continue to place trades based off of. So we can see that BTC hasn't formed any lower lows on a higher time frame and it's still forming higher highs. Right now, BTC has just formed a new higher low. It's just formed a new higher low. And it looks like that level is holding up. This is a level of demand, and I drew up this level on the daily time frame. So let me actually go into the daily time frame so you guys can see it a bit clearer. So yes, we can see that BTC actually touched this level of demand on the daily time frame, and the reaction of that is exactly what you would want to see if you're looking to buy BTC. We see that BTC failed to break this previous low right here. I almost touched my screen, guys. Can you imagine? Well, yeah, BTC failed to break this previous low right here, and we can see that it's now formed a low here. All right, guys, we had a slight interruption there, but as I was saying, BTC USD has failed to break to the lower side. So now we can see that prices may continue to the upside. And I have a couple levels marked out that I believe that BTC is gonna touch. And then based off how it reacts at these levels, we will know whether price is trying to continue to the upside or is gonna continue to the downside. So moving into the 4 hour time frame. And this is how we do the top-down analysis, guys. Literally just moving from higher time frames to lower time frames in order to reach a conclusion. Now, if you look on the 4 hour time frame, this is just lovely, 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 lovely stuff. We can see that BTC is accumulating on the 4 hour time frame. This is an accumulation. This is the beginning of accumulation. All right, and we have these levels of liquidity that price may look to take. So that's why I've actually highlighted this box up here, is the area above the liquidity that price may reject from. And I always use liquidity while trading. Is one of the main factors that I use in order to determine where price is going to head to. So it's one of my main factors for bias and also entries as well. What I use mainly for entries are imbalances and fair value gaps as well. These are things that I like to use for entries because they work and they're very, very solid. So here we have an imbalance on the 4 hour time frame as well. It actually spans between two different candlesticks, which makes it a lot more stronger. So I believe that BTC will take out this liquidity on the left and reject off this area, come back into this fair value gap right here, and then continue to the upside. That's what I believe BTC is going to do. I do see BTC touching 108K in the next coming weeks slash months. You guys know that I like to make these calls, and whenever I make these calls, they are mostly right most of the time. And obviously, like, you can't be 100% right all of the time. It just doesn't, that's just not the way it works on the markets. So I do believe that BTC is going to touch the 108K level. And that should be happening in the next coming weeks slash months. So what I will do is I'm going to continue uploading YouTube videos. And I think that's just the breakdown for today, to be honest. I don't really want to dive too deep into markets, but what I will be doing, I will be going live and just updating you guys on what BTC is doing alongside XAU and Euro USD and other pairs and stuff like that. But yes, guys, it's been a wonderful time. Subscribe, like, and share this to anyone who you feel may find value in this. It's been OPM, and I'm out. Thank you all.